Here's my 6-person audience for my how-to speech. Alrighty, so today, before I get started, I'd like to say thank y'all for giving me y'all's time and being here and listening to me today. I will be talking about how to successfully grow a garden. And the first thing that we will talk about successfully growing a garden is how important the planning process is and all the things that go into that. The second thing we shall talk about is choosing plants for a garden and how choosing plants is important, and it's something that takes looking up information and by knowing the location and what plants grow best where. The third thing that we will end up talking about will be garden design and the layout of your garden, so knowing where you're going to put certain plants and what plants are going to be by other plants. And the fourth thing that we shall talk about is soil style. It's a smaller topic, but it's really important, even though there's not a lot of information to know about that. The fifth thing that we're going to get into is your watering system, and how important your water system is because based off the location and where you're from, different irrigation systems are going to be needed, so that's an important thing to know. And the last thing you need to know is the maintenance of gardening and how important it is to weed and take care of your garden. So back to our first topic, which is going to be how to start a garden. Well, first you're going to need to sit down and start planning out based off your location and where you are. So for an example, I'm going to base it off of Lubbock, Texas, and from where I've learned a lot about planning and gardening. So going into planting a garden in Lubbock, you're going to need to know how the weather is. And in Lubbock, it's very windy. There's not a lot of rain, but it's harsh summers and harsh winters. So when you're going into planting, you have to know which plants can handle the harsh winters, the harsh summers. When you're picking a water system, it's also important to know how the rain isn't going to really help out your watering system because it's so windy. So which ones to pick, and those are the important things to know. All right, so now based off plants, when you're choosing your plants, you're going to want to pick plants that grow good in Lubbock areas. So what plants would grow good there is you've got basil, kale, cabbage, and there's plenty of other plants that will grow well, but those are the 3 examples we're going to use today. And the way those grow good in there is because since they can handle the harsh weather, very limited water, they all grow good together. And another thing to take into consideration with these plants, while they grow good, is a thing called companion gardening. And what companion gardening does is it helps the plants where they all work together. So if certain plants are weak to certain other pesticides, what one plant will do is since it's strong enough against that pesticide, when it releases pollen or things like that of that nature, it will help protect all its surrounding plants. And then just for them being in the same ground and soil, the nutrients, some plants will help other plants grow faster. So that's why companion gardening is an important thing to know. Then the next topic will be soil style. Soil style, it really isn't many options, but I would say the simplest one to pick from is it's called lasagna gardening. And what you do with this is the first layer is to prevent your soil from getting infected from all the ground pesticides and things like that. You lay a layer down of newspapers of what sort, and then from there you build each layer of soil you would need for planting. So anytime your plants are growing in that soil, the only soil and ground that it's actually touching is what you've put into the ground. It won't get anything in from the actual land. The fifth thing would be watering systems. And the reason watering systems is important, in Lubbock it's so windy, so your plants don't really get the water they need. So an important one to get there would be the drip irrigation system. And what a drip irrigation system actually is it's a pipeline system that's underground that it consistently drops water throughout your garden. So it's not really attacking the plants from above, it's giving them nutrients and water from under the ground. So the water's never wasted, it stays in the soil, and when the plants need it, they can get it. And the fifth and last thing that's important is maintaining your garden. So consistently daily going out and weeding and basically making sure there's no actual bad plants that start growing in your garden. That's an important step. And another important thing to add to that would be to continue to grow your garden would be to do tip, leaf, and stem planting. And that's when you take away from certain plants you already have in your garden and you replant them, the pieces that you've cut off, into your garden to help it grow more. And that'd be one way of recycling plants that you've already grown to regrow more without having to buy many more things. So with these steps, basically these are your ways of learning how to grow a garden system, and I hope that